sky. Well, you cry out and you don't know why. Come on now, let your feet fly. Come on now, let's go for a ride. Come on now, let your feet fly.
There you go. Hi everybody out there on the red couch. Or welcome to the red couch. I'm Ash, that's Izzy.
Kevin.
How's it going?
And we're talking to Kevin, and Kevin's got his band Tobacco Brown.
Super hot.
Super hot band. Yeah, no, they are really good.
I know.
It's almost like you're a Vancouver secret.
Thank you.
I think
Thank
you are. I really do. You
I
know?
feel that way.
Yeah,
That's the way I felt about Graham Brown.
Yeah, Graham Brown's very cool.
When I saw that guy, I was like,
Have you seen Graham Brown?
I didn't know.
I don't know if I have seen Graham.
No,
Dude,
Graham
do
used to
yourself a
be in a
favor.
band called Dinosaur Junior.
Oh,
No,
geez.
no.
Okay, well.
No, Junior Gone Wild.
No, it was Junior. It was Dinosaur. Yeah.
He came in with Dinosaur.
He came in with Dinosaur Jr.?
Yeah.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Holy
Signed to
smokes.
Geffen Records. And
What?
everything. Yeah, he's
Holy
played.
shit.
He's played at the Cavern in Liverpool.
Is he still in Vancouver?
Yeah, he lives. He lives on the west side.
Alright, well, we gotta...
You gotta come down and
We
see
gotta,
it.
I gotta see him, yeah.
This
we
guy
gotta-
can write it. Listen to this, Kevin. He can write a song. He sat here.
Yeah.
We said, "How many songs you write a day?" And he says, "Oh, anywhere from 4 to 5."
No.
And I
day.
know
What?
he does. And then he's
Dude.
like a savant. And then he goes to play.
A savant.
He
yeah.
is like a savant
Wow.
when it comes to
Yeah.
songwriting. He started.
Now, is that music and lyrics?
Oh, yeah.
What?
He
Dude.
sang it out.
I write like 4 songs a year.
When
I
he's
think
I was
I'm-
sitting on the couch and he went, oh, check
What?
this out. And homie, Rob, was like,
the kids keep up
oh,
like.
just jumps right on and he's like, oh, got it. And it was
You know,
beautiful.
some cows just make more milk, eh?
Yes, that's
Brown
good.
cows make
Yeah.
chocolate
Yeah.
milk.
There you go.
Yeah.
I still try to,
It's a
I like to
drug
believe that. I like to believe that.
So hey, let's talk about we did our first interview. Let's talk about like you originally lived in London for a while, right?
I did,
and you
yeah.
played the
Yeah.
scene over there.
I did.
And
Is that where you're from?
Actually, no. My mother is from England. I grew up in North Van, and
Oh, cool.
somewhere around.
So
when I was-
same difference, really.
Same difference, yeah, exactly. Commonwealth country here. But I moved back there when I was 14, and I spent 7 years in South London, Croydon to be specific.
Croydon!
Big up to Cronks if anyone's
Big up
listening.
to Croydon!
Yeah, no, and it was a you know, a kick in the pants, wake up call kind of thing. Because coming from North Van, where everything's really nice, everybody's really friendly, and there's lots of trees, and
Let's
then you go to
talk
South
about North
London.
Van for a sec, though.
What's that?
Let's talk about North
Let's
Van for a second.
fucking talk about North Van.
So,
Lynn Valley.
Lynn Valley.
Is-
okay,
specific
it's
is where I'm
exactly
from,
what
yeah.
I wanted to talk
Okay,
about
cool.
with Lynn Valley. So, I got some homies from Lynn Valley.
Yeah.
What up, rep? What up, bro?
LDPR.
Gibbons family.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, nasty baggins over there. It was not right. And like, I moved here in 1986,
Yeah.
and North Van was just far away east.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And
My
now-
brother calls it the dark side.
Dude,
Yeah.
and now people are
Yeah.
strutting around like, oh, I'm
Oh,
from
God.
North Vancouver.
Oh, don't give me. Yeah, absolutely. Like
I don't know
Lynn
how
Valley.
many STDs you have. I don't know what that means. What does? Oh, you're from North Vancouver. You keep your furniture on the lawn.
Well, it's for me North. Like I won't put anyone into a box, but for me, the quintessential dude from North Van is baseball hat all year, shorts all year, and that's just kind of the look. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe Crocs, maybe. But,
Well, it's
You know.
all I'm trying to say is it's changed a lot.
oh, for sure, it was a little mountain town when I was
it
growing
was
up. It was
hardcore,
like
man.
yeah.
Well,
Now it's like
my grandfather lived in North Van.
really,
And my dad grew up there.
yeah.
Like logged it.
No, they lived there, but they didn't log it. But like when they
Well, God bless
lived,
them.
no, my grandpa had when he lived there, he had a big house on the hill. I think whatever that one road you go up.
Yeah.
And he had this big, huge house, and I remember it, purple house. It was purple. And,
That's cool.
And big, huge backyard with all the fruit trees and everything,
Mhm.
And then he also owned was a dentist. So he had his shop down at the docks, by the docks.
Oh,
so
okay.
he would get all
Yeah.
the union people, right? All
Oh,
the dock
okay.
workers would come in and
Totally.
get the teeth done for him. He had fucking tons of cash, and he did that. And then, but when you talk about North Van, you talk about like the
It was
woods,
rough and
clearing the
tumble,
woods.
dude.
Well, when
Yeah.
you talk about clearing the woods, the
Well,
woods were
I was
up.
fucking
It-
around.
it
Up
was
by the
a-
mountain, but up by the mountain. No, my cousins, my uncle and my cousins,
Yeah.
they were one of the first families up by going up towards Grouse.
Really?
And there
Wow.
was nothing but forest.
Yeah.
I mean, in their they lived on a one block, and I think there was 4 houses. That's it.
Anyway, Lynn Valley represent.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. You know what?
You're welcome.
And for what it's worth, I mean, I know I said I was, going from a very nice place to maybe not the nicest, but I will say, Lynn Valley had some crazy low-key crime. There was like some underbelly
Oh, dude, we
shit
know those
that,
guys.
you know what I mean? Yeah,
We
yeah.
know those guys.
No, it was like the 7-Eleven, there'd be like stabbings all the time, and you know what I mean? I watched the 7-Eleven burn down.
How about
that's
that?
how old I am.
How,
But
I know
how,
these
how about
stories.
how about the you ever gone to the bar and hotel over there?
the Holiday Inn?
No, not the Holiday Inn. Yes.
Oh, that they crushed down,
Yeah, they
down at
crushed.
the bottom, right?
yeah,
Linwood?
yeah, the
Oh,
Linwood.
it's gone. It's
I
so
know,
long.
but-
Oh yeah, back in the day. Oh, fuck.
Now that was rough.
The Linwood open mic. So what we used to do the circuit. We go to the Rusty Gull.
Yeah.
And then we go
Oh,
to
the
Linwood
Rusty
after.
Gull,
right?
yeah.
And the Linwood was open till like 3.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, I spent the better part. Chris Olson, I'm gonna give a shout out to you because he's my guy. And or sorry,
Love
Olson
you,
Lloyd
Chris
was
Olson.
we love you, Chris Olson. He got me involved in the Linwood and the Rusty Gull, all those open mics. He's in
And the
North
Gibbons. And the Gibbons.
But yeah, no, those were good times. I loved it. I loved the Linwood, and I love North End. I always will. I live in
Guaranteed
Burnaby
you
now.
know the boys who
The Totem
run
I
that
definitely
podcast.
do.
How about the Totem
And they might know my
restaurant?
brother.
The Totem. The
The
Totem
Totem?
restaurant.
Oh, I
You mean
just-
excuse me, you mean the Tomahawk?
Tomahawk.
The
yeah.
Tomahawk. Now that is one of the greatest.
Greatest. My dad
diners
used to
of all
take me
time,
there
yeah.
when I was a little
But just
kid.
amazing.
Pancakes
Yeah.
and bread.
Ronnie
Oh,
O'Reilly
yeah,
just
yeah.
went there for the first time last week.
Really.
So
Who did?
If you
Ronnie.
get a table.
Wow, did you have the breakfast or what did you eat?
No, hamburgers, man.
I
Just
bet.
get
Really?
it.
That's all good,
I
too.
never had their hamburgers.
No, I had
only
the
ever got
breakfast. The
yeah.
breakfast is
Yeah.
unreal.
Oh, is that like Bonds? Is it a thing like Bonds?
It is, yes.
Well,
Way
it's
better
an
than
institution, but it's
Way better.
sorry
than
if Bond's listening.
Sorry.
Don't fucking come after me. No, it's
No,
the Tomahawk
I love
is
Bonds.
next
Bonds
level.
No, Bonds is the best.
Bonds
No.
Bonds
Bonds
is
is-
Tomahawk. What?
It's
The
really
breakfast-
they're false equivalents though. Like Bonds
No,
is the best
I'm
for
serious.
having the cheapest breakfast in the world still.
And-
I actually went there the other month and it holds up if you know what I mean.
I go there constantly. I go there all the
Do you
time.
really? Yeah.
Of course
Oh, I've
I
got
do.
nothing to love for Bonds.
And I've never gone to breakfast and seen so many people ordering tequila.
That's the thing.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, with the price of the breakfast, you can have a couple tequilas and still be well under the mark for other places.
yeah.
So good.
So, anyways, when you were, let's get back to you. He was in London.
Let's talk about music a little bit.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
the best part.
I was in London.
And you
7
were
years.
in London, and you told
Yeah.
me last time we were talking that the guitar was. I asked you how to get the name of Tobacco Brown.
Yes.
And you can carry it from there.
I've told this story a few times and it has never really changed, but it really does depend on how much like beer I've had or how long I want to tell the story. But I like to keep the mystique, if you will, because it's sometimes better not to explain. But the truth is it's very simple and straightforward. I was guitar shopping for my friend Brett Alimo. He at the time was like a lot of people, we just sort of finished school and we had time on our hands, but he was a little busier than I was. And more importantly, I lived in Croydon, which was near this amazing place called Rock Bottom.
Lovely.
Rock Bottom, great name by the way. And it was a buy and used like guitar store, right? So they had basses, they had guitars, awful old acoustics.
What year is this?
Oh
about?
god, this was 2003, 2004.
Okay. So what's the big thing there right now?
In Croydon?
What? Yeah. In England.
Oh, in England? Oh god, I mean you're asking the wrong guy now. I have no idea.
Yeah,
but
well,
Rock Bottom's gone. Rock Bottom's gone. It was a really sweet treat for a little
Still
while.
got my rock bottom, baby.
Yeah, buddy, I was just gonna say that. Thank you. You picked up on that. But so I went there, and a friend of mine was working there, and a friend named Anna, and so sorry. Just Brett told me buy the worst, shittiest, cheapest acoustic you can find. He's like, I literally want the worst acoustic. He's like, it's gonna be like his street guitar, if you will, right? So I'm like, all right. And I go there and I ask my friend Anna, do you have any just really awful, cheap, shitty acoustics for my buddy? And she's like, I will check in the back for you because everything on the front we kind of make sure is sellable, right? But she's like, well, we get some stuff people drop off. She went in the back for a couple minutes. She comes out and she's like, there's this really ugly looking tobacco brown acoustic in the back, and maybe you want that, right? And I was like,
Really good.
tobacco brown. And it just like, as soon as she said that, it was like I'd never heard that combination of words before. And I was like, that's beautiful, and that's a color, tobacco brown. There's nothing else about it. But when I went to my buddy, he was like, what did you find? And I was like, they had this like ugly tobacco brown guitar apparently. And he looked at me, he's like, tobacco brown. He's like, that's kind of cool. And I was like, that is kind of cool. And originally it was supposed to be, we wanted to have a recording studio called Tobacco Brown. It was going to be Tobacco Brown Studios. But then I realized I'm no good at engineering and I don't have any gear. So it was, I already had my guitar and I was ready.
No, yours is a bit of a
That's the thing.
setback,
So
yeah.
that's the thing. It's the damnedest thing. So Tobacco Brown just became the moniker, whatever.
yeah.
My real name, Kevan Schell, I have made peace with it. But at the time, I felt like that wasn't going to look the same on a poster. You know what I mean? I was like, Kevan Schell, it's me, and for tax purposes. Anyway, no, but so anyway, but that's the story. That's the true story that I'm giving to you. And that's where it comes from.
So how long did you play over there for? Just
Sorry,
yeah.
So I moved there when I was 14. I started playing guitar when I was 13.
Wow.
And I started writing my first songs around 14, 15. They were instrumentals.
Remember your first song?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
If I grab that acoustic, could you play it?
Oh, for sure.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I'll play literally the first thing I ever wrote though. It's
Yeah,
not. It's no. There's no lyrics. It's just a little instrumental. It's
My
tiny.
first song has lyrics, so just saying.
I mean, I eventually wrote a song with lyrics.
Yeah.
I would need a capo to do my very first song, but all right. So this is the first.
Do not tune it.
Do not tune it. Okay, perfect. So this is the first song this is the first guitar riff I ever wrote. Ever.
On this guitar.
I'm on this guitar, literally. It wasn't a Fender, but it's called Sunrise. And this is how, in experience, I was like, I didn't have any other chords. So I just, for the chorus, I just went.
Oh, yeah.
And that was it. And I actually showed my guitar teacher, and he was like, I actually love that you just repeated the same. He's like, that's actually cool. And I was like, really? Because I was like, I got
differently.
So what's that?
But differently, like there's different attack on it.
It's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's my first.
Did that become a song?
No, I've never done it. You're the first. This is the first time I've really played that.
Wow. Can me and Joe use that?
Of course. Oh my God. You can have that.
We're starting this band, Tobacco Green.
Yeah. I will join the band and sue you off. But, that's honestly legit. That
That's
how
actually
it started.
a beautiful little tune.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you so
yeah.
much. That means a lot. Like I said, that was the first thing I ever did, and I just played that forever. And because the truth is, I was really bad at learning other people's songs. I really was. I didn't have the patience. I love learning
like that
solos.
Too. I like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have the patience, and I just was so bad
Learning
at it.
solos? Like
Learning
Yeah.
songs.
Oh yeah, I love I'd learn Metallica solos and none of the rhythm chords because I just loved that, so I'd focus on that.
Yeah, you
And
focus
it's
on
years
solo.
later where it was like, well, no, you should learn the composition
That's
behind the
so
solos, right?
weird, right?
Oh, I know, I'm a total weirdo in that sense, but it
No,
was.
that's cool,
It
though.
was
Oh,
just.
it's way cool.
It was just what I
It's
wanted to
super
do.
weird,
right?
though.
Oh
What was
yeah.
your first Metallica
You
I had
solo?
the first one. It was one. I learned one. I learned Crazy Train first, and then I learned one. No, I want to say I learned them. I could play them all the way through. Not saying I did it well. I'm just saying.
No,
just
no.
like, I could remember them.
That's not the same.
That's
Thank you.
crazy.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah, but look at
wicked.
where you from there to now. Like holy
Yeah.
shit. Man.
Well,
Isn't that
it's all
interesting
tabs.
that-
I can't read music, right?
Isn't
So
that-
yeah, no,
interesting
you
that
just
it
goes
isn't-
in your head, right?
It doesn't always have to go like
Wow.
this, right?
yeah.
It can
yeah.
go like.
Well, it's only when I
like
started
that.
reading. So I started getting guitar lessons after I started learning guitar. My friend Ian Harris told me he taught me how to read tabs and where to,
Yes.
where to put your fingers and all that. And then I started reading guitar magazines, and I read an interview with Zach Wilde, and he was like, I started out and I didn't learn any theory. He's like, I just learned the songs I wanted to learn, and he's like, my friends, they didn't know when I was doing solos. They didn't care. And he's like, but as a player now, I like to go back and learn the scales and learn all the stuff. So he's like, I know where that stuff came from.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So and when I read that, I was like, I kind of skipped a few steps, right? So it's
Yeah.
really my whole entire career in guitar has been going back and trying to learn the rudimentaries.
But
and,
that's okay, because look at you now. Like I said, I watch you play now.
Thank
It's
you,
like,
man.
holy
Thank you.
fuck. Like
I
I'm
appreciate
serious.
it.
Like you
No,
know,
I know.
you
Joe's
guys.
been talking
Thank you.
about you a lot.
I really
Since
like.
I met him.
I really like his guitar playing a lot.
Yeah, I know.
I like the trick the band's on. It's
Thank you.
it's so cool.
Thank you.
And
So you started at Ingve.
Sorry?
You started at Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah.
Worked your way back to me.
You know what's really, it's actually really funny you say that, because this is the truth, is that one of the first things I learned on guitar is the very beginning of the Crossroads solo. That hammer on, and that's the, like, I've only just learned the whole solo, but that was the first thing I started with. And, you know, even when I couldn't play, I could do that little hammer on bit, and it's just funny that you say that, because it's like I didn't start with Malmsteen, but I did at the same time. I couldn't play it, but you're absolutely right. Like I was like, I want to learn that.
This is where I want to.
That's the thing. I really wanted to be a shredder, if you will. And then as it went on, I realized I'll never be as good as some of those players. But I was like, you know what?
It's not the story I've heard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No,
But I love playing.
He plays with a lot of feel.
Thank you.
And I think that he knows where the space is. You know, he knows how to find the space.
Thank you.
That's
that's
the thing, though,
that's
right?
the best part.
That's,
you know, I mean, I really think that's the best part. Like, you know, I mean, I played with people. I won't say who, like, you know, not in a negative way, but like, I play with people that they fill up the whole damn thing, and you have to like tell them like.
Mandolin players, am I right?
Oh yeah, it could be anything. I mean, you know, and I've, you know, I played with a person about a year ago was like that, right? And they were just like,
well,
it was just like
the way my guitar teacher told
The
me.
mandolin player in the Twitch.
I did see a
You gotta
mandolin
go,
player
man.
who literally didn't stop playing one show, and it was bad. But my guitar teacher told me, and this always stuck with me, is he said that learning music and phrasing is a lot like learning how to speak. And when you're a kid, you don't have that filter, so you'll say things like, "Oh, mummy, that man's really ugly," or whatever, right? And it's like, no, you've got to not say that. You learn what not to say. And so that's sort of where it's like that's the phrasing, and it's you know, it's a language, is right.
That's interesting. And then as you mature, right?
Yeah.
You know when you can go. That man's ugly.
And there's a moment for that, and there's a moment to say that man's handsome.
yeah.
I hope his wife is happy.
Yeah.
Look at those thighs.
I haven't made it to that moment. I understand that there is a moment like that.
But that's true. You know, like when I listen to you guys play, it seems to be it's in a really good groove. There's a good groove to the material.
Thank you.
And there's also a really good sense of like, you know, how you're spacing it to. I can say it's like where you're putting the music inside the box, and how that box is not completely full. You know what I mean? Like there's space to put more.
Gary Taylor always calls it the pocket.
Yeah,
It's the pocket, right? It's the pocket, and he's a former drummer. Well, he still plays the drums, but
That's the
he's pretty old now.
he's older now. But he made his money.
That's
What a crotchety old guy too. I was talking the other day.
where
So
you know not
crotchety.
to play.
That's the thing. You know where not to play. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't
And
think.
give a bit of room for the lead singer, because that's the
Yeah,
most
yeah,
important.
yeah. Well,
Because that's the most important
you
member
know,
of the band.
I literally
Is the
have to
lead singer
remind
is the
myself-
most important member of the band.
Well, he's a great singer.
Thank you. I have to remind myself not to solo over my own singing though. So I'm happy to say
Oh,
that
yeah.
But
it's
you
not
can do,
just
but
it's
you
not
can do
personal.
both though, and that's a tough nut.
Thank you.
Let some
Yeah.
people
How
get
did you start doing that?
Singing or just the
And
whole
took
thing?
guitar.
play at
Oh
the same
well,
time.
honestly, I mean,
Or did you get that
so
right off the hop?
no. I really don't want to. I don't want to paint a picture. I'm gonna need another beer here. I don't want to paint this picture that.
I'll just leave.
That I certainly, it did not come easy. I just literally, when I moved to England for the first year, I didn't have any friends. So it was legit Eric Clapton style, just like in the fucking lock yourself in your bedroom and play. So it was like, I didn't lock myself in there. But basically the first song.
Is that all your favorite stuff? Is like that classic rock stuff?
It's not all my favorite. I could definitely have a lot of time for classic rock. For what it's worth, I'm way more of a Hendrix fan than I ever was Clapton.
yes.
I do love Cream, and I do love Led
Cream,
Zeppelin.
yeah.
I've got a lot of time.
Yeah.
But
You
for
love
me,
the classic guitar player.
oh yeah, and I don't get me wrong. I love
I-
the Kinks. I love all that. I grew up with like Motown.
Because you were a young
and
dude. Well, like,
Well,
what
you're
about
his
punk rock?
no, yeah, but,
well, that happened too. That,
but his some of his
'Cause
soulfulness in the songs that he plays live. There's a lot of soul there, right?
Thank you.
And it has a lot of feel. That's what I mean by the feel.
Well,
it's some of the songs are pretty soulful.
Dude, you picked this up off the couch, though. Even like just sitting here, honest to God, you feel that just sitting here with you.
Yeah,
Thank you so
I know
much,
he's
you
good.
guys.
He's
That's
good.
really
He's
kind.
really good. And like I said, it's soulful, and like you have that pocket where you know how to put it. But I'm amazed. Like if you must have listened to Hendrix,
Yeah.
like you said.
That's why I was wondering when it was you were there.
So
Because all that punk rock stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, and I love
guitar too.
Oh, yeah, I love
that
punk
just
rock.
stripped it back to just rock and roll.
That's the thing. Like the first stuff I was like, I loved Blink-182. I loved all that stuff. I loved
All the
Rage
90s
Against the
stuff.
Machine, all the '90s stuff. Absolutely right. I loved Drop D, all the grunge, obviously Nirvana. Like all of that was a huge impact.
Nirvana pretty cool.
And it really was like.
And that was a big thing there.
In England, it was for sure. I mean, this was all kind of for me. Like it was bigger because it was the '90s in Vancouver, obviously. But when I moved to England, what was big it was indie. When I got to England in the early aughts, it was the Libertines, right? It was all these other like, amazing bands. Oasis for sure. Like they'd sort of had their day, if you will.
Yeah.
Like, well, they were by the 2000s, they were still the biggest band in the world. But people like my generation were growing up and listening to the Smiths and what have you. But to answer your question,
Smiths were before the.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. But that's the thing; it was a retro thing,
Dude,
right?
okay.
It was the indie movement was totally retro, right?
I just have to say this. 2 nights ago, I had tickets to Paul Weller.
Oh,
And
what?
we
Are
had
you
a thing,
serious?
Yeah, and me and Bonnie had a thing
I'm
that
so jealous.
we couldn't make it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Who else was in town that night? Johnny Marr
Yeah.
was in town that
Are
night.
you fucking
Yeah,
serious?
yeah.
Doing a solo?
Who else was in town that night? Billy Bragg.
What?
So where was the after party for that?
Okay, Billy Bragg, absolutely.
Billy Bragg,
Billy
Johnny
Bragg.
Marr, and Paul Weller
He changed
all
my
playing
life.
on Granville Street
Oh, come on.
I know.
When the fuck was this?
2 days ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
On the weekend,
Can
Friday.
someone
Yeah.
please, if anyone's watching, can you tell me how to find out all that? I feel like I follow all
Hey,
the
go
music
to Republic Barbershop. We've got all the
Yeah,
information.
no, seriously. Ash is your hookup.
I'm fully your hookup.
But okay, well Billy Bragg definitely changed my life for sure, and that was the first time I'd ever heard anybody. Like, I love that he went around the country in the UK with an amp and a Fender.
Yeah, dude.
Just doing one-man shows, right?
Yeah.
Like, that really changed my attitude. I'd never heard anyone do solo electric songs like that.
That was
right.
that was folk rock, punk rock. Just going.
That's the thing.
This is the same deal.
And
it was
you know
like
what-
when DRI went heavy metal and punk rock. That's
Who, sorry?
DRI and
Oh, okay, yeah.
did this crossover thing. Anyway.
But I love those, not necessarily a genre blend, as we like to say, right? But at the same time, it's like those ingredients, if you will, they complement each other very well. You know what I mean? They're not offensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
you can have a burger with mustard or not, right? And then it's like you get these rock, you get punk and folk. They're so close to each other because
It should almost be, and then somebody figures it out and goes, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's and for me, it felt like none of that was offensive to me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Metal, punk, like rock, all of that was fine. And I loved acoustic like that. I started learning songs on acoustic. And I want to just say this now. It was Ben Harper, Another Lonely Day.
Yeah.
That was the first song with lyrics that I learned and could play all the way through. And I was like, I have to learn this song. I was so emo. It's the saddest song. But it wasn't easy. It was really, really hard. But to answer your question from ages back, it was about 14, 15 when I started, again, slowly trying to learn other people's songs on acoustic. And then I started writing my own songs on acoustic. And then
And
it
you
just
wrote
went
that
from
too?
there. Sorry?
And
Yeah,
you-
I wrote that on electric though. So that was the thing. So I guess
So pretty.
I got an electric at the same time as the acoustic. Anyway, sorry, I'm kind of babbling, but what I'm trying to say is I was going back and forth between them, and it was like writing songs on the acoustic and then learning Metallica solos and shredding on the electric, and then slowly. So I wrote my first song when I was about 17, 18, and I was working in a theater called Fairfield Halls in Croydon, which actually Jimi Hendrix played Fairfield Halls. Croydon,
Wow.
Croydon, Surrey.
Croydon.
And so these places, what it was is it was a theater, so it'd be pantomimes at Christmas, and there was a bar. So people would go in and watch this, these shitty fucking family things, and they'd come out for the bar, and they had 15 minutes. So you had to be ready at the bar for that 15 minutes, get all the drinks ready, and then they'd go back in. What I'm getting at, there was lots of time to sit around and do nothing. So I would just print out receipts and just write on them, because I had pens and paper, and I was allowed free Coke. So I was filling up my Coke and, had time to kill, and I just started scribbling.
Coca-Cola.
lyrics, and this is,
Coca-Cola.
If Coke's listening, give me money. But it was before smartphones, so it was like I would just keep these, receipts and go home and, find a notebook and put them down. So, and I love that, and I still write, I do write all the time, and I write on my phone all the time, but I will what I do is I edit on my phone and then I write the final thing on paper.
Cool.
I'll always bring it back to paper because you need paper. You have to write. I don't think you're a songwriter if you're not literally sitting down.
You don't have your guitar case full of little scraps.
Big time, man. Yeah, and just like, it's like I heard about like.
I love that. I
You know
love
what I
that.
mean? Yeah, no, you gotta have that stuff, and like I said, I'm not a total luddite. Like I don't shun technology. I use my phone.
Fair. Yeah,
I use
fair.
my phone, but at the end of the day, when it's ready, that's when I gotta, because I won't remember it otherwise if I don't write it down. If I'm not writing it down,
I
those
did
lyrics,
that last
those
night.
lyrics
I thought, I wrote a song. I thought,
yeah,
should I write it down?
yeah.
I'm going, are you insane? Will you just remember this before I'm talking to myself in the conversation? No, you
No.
won't remember this. Don't be stupid.
No, that's-
So then I had to like write it down.
That is the best advice I ever got was reading Brain Droppings by George Carlin.
Yeah.
And he says in that, if you have a good idea, write
George
it down.
Carlin, Bonnie.
George Carlin. Right?
Yeah.
Rest in peace. But if you have a good idea, write it down. His
Yes.
brother told him that.
Yeah.
And it worked for him.
Jumping Jack Flash.
Right?
Yeah.
I
So
woke up in the middle of the night the other day just to make everything awkward and weird.
Yeah.
I woke up in the middle of the night and I had this thing and I put it into the notes on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So could you just write that on the pizza box for me? Or
Absolutely.
sweet, a treachery of warlocks.
Treachery of Warlock? I actually want a pen. This sounds great. You know, Guns N' Roses wrote all their songs on Pizza Box.
yes, they did. Yeah.
All the good ones, at least.
All the good
Yeah.
ones at least.
That's what I'm talking about, though, and I will say there's something about that dedicated, songwriter attitude that I
yes.
really like. We need that still.
Yeah.
And I really hope, honestly, whoever's listening to this, I will not shun any way that people write songs in the modern world.
Oh,
but
no.
please write them. Please at least write them.
just
Please
keep
don't
writing.
use AI. Like, please write
Yeah,
things
not
down.
AI.
Yeah.
No, I hear you there.
Anyway, I don't want to sound like a fossil because,
Yeah.
like I said,
But what I was getting back to, roundabout, when you start to sing and play,
Did the roundabout
because like I
just
said,
playing?
like there's a lot of people like Hendrix, like you said,
Yeah.
Johnny Winters, like
Yeah.
these people,
Yeah.
I'm amazed at them fucking singing and playing at the same time. They're doing lead and they're singing
Yeah.
at the same time. They're doing.
Well,
I watched Winters 1,000 times, and my mouth dropped. I go, how
Well,
does
you know what?
motherfucker do that?
I don't know how Winters does it, and I don't know how anyone else does it. But what inspired me was listening to a live recording of Jimi Hendrix,
Yeah,
and he's singing while he's playing.
that's right.
So you start with the singing while you're playing, and then you can kind
Then
of
you
separate
then you
it.
can
I've never
separate-
heard anyone do that, but he does like
Yeah,
and
he's
he's
probably
singing.
eating
Yeah.
soup too.
Oh, for sure. Oh God, yeah. He's ironing as well. Like
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
better behind his back with his
Yeah.
feet than I'll ever be, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
but it was when I heard that, and I never thought of it before. I was like, oh, you can harmonize that way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So
But that's a good way of doing it, though, right? I mean,
that's the thing.
That's it. So
Well,
that's how you do
Yeah.
it. Right? So
That's how I started doing it. But I'm not gonna lie. It's just practice, right? You just keep doing it.
You keep doing it
You
enough,
keep
it
doing
becomes
it, and
normal.
it's, and I like that you said that the band is a secret because I think that's definitely true. But I do stand by that. The band may not have been ready, or I may not have been ready for a long time, and I really think this is kind of the apex of like.
Yeah, well,
what
you're
we're doing.
definitely getting there. That's for sure. I
Thank
mean,
you, man.
like,
Thank you.
know,
Yeah.
I mean, like
it
you
takes
guys.
time. I just want to say.
It always takes time.
And I'll never be there, right? I'll never be perfect,
there.
right? Yeah. I don't want to be,
No.
once you're comfortable, it's over. so.
But yeah.
You got to hear it first, folks. Tobacco Brown, punk rocker, never wants to be there.
Thank you. Yeah.
No, it's good.
I do try as much to be as punk as I can.
So what about because you got that kind of also that bluesy Motown thing going on.
Yeah.
What kind of artists in that kind of style do you like? Do you like B.B. King? Do you like
Where did that come
I mean.
Because that's a. Did you just go back from what I did when I was playing? When I first listened to rock and when the early days when I listened to rock and roll as a kid, I would listen to the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Who, whatever, right? And I listened to those bands, and then I started to wonder as a kid, where did this all come from, right? And then I started, blues. Oh, well, I got to start listening to the blues and see how that was, how they were influenced, right?
That's the thing.
And then, did you do the same thing?
Well, you completely nailed it on the head in that this is okay because there is mainstream music, which a lot of those artists have borrowed heavily from black artists.
Oh yeah.
So don't get me wrong, it's like I wasn't born going into the record store looking for those albums. I didn't know any better, and I just grew up thinking, I love Led Zeppelin, I love all these bands, and I still do. I still do, but absolutely I started with the mainstream classic rock, and then when you start peeling back the layers and you read
go to
interviews,
see where it's all come from.
they made no secret about it. Led Zeppelin never denied that,
No,
right? They weren't great at giving credit on the records, but if they were ever
Yes.
interviewed,
They
they
were
always
great
said
paying the money.
that's the
Same with
thing.
Rolling
Yeah.
Stones.
No, that's
The Stones-
Eventually they pay.
yeah. And so then it was like, okay, well then who did they listen to? And then so one of the big
Yeah,
influences
Muddy
for me,
Waters, right, Joe?
Muddy Waters,
Well, one of those guys.
but it was John Lee Hooker for me.
Yeah, John Lee.
John Lee Hooker.
You know, John Lee can't play with shit. You know that?
Well, he's dead now. He can't play.
I
at
seen
all.
him with us. No.
You saw John Lee Hooker?
Oh, 4 or 5
No way.
times.
Yeah.
Dude.
He came to Vancouver all the time.
Come to the barbershop and just sit and listen to the shows Joe
I
I've seen
honestly,
times.
It's horrifying.
I never want to leave.
They were cheap. They were cheap. The shows back then like $5, right?
Well,
So you could
right.
go.
Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Zeppelin,
How old
The
are
Who.
you?
Don't
He doesn't
ask.
want to talk.
Don't ask.
He's
But
one
I was,
year
but no,
younger
but
than
when
me.
I went
One
to
year
those
younger
shows,
than me.
when I went to those shows, I was young. I
So
was,
he-
I was
so-
like 9 and 10.
So sure. So, but John Lee
And it
Hooker,
was all
Yeah,
ridiculous.
he
I
can't
saw.
play?
No, he can't play well, but he
I mean,
has.
he had a style though, because he used to. It was all the index
He
finger.
does
right?
have
He
the
was
stuff.
the king of the boogie woogie though.
Oh yeah, he
Well-
is. He could. You know why he could do that so well?
So bad.
He wasn't
Did I
a
just
great
do that?
player, but what I'm trying to say is he had the rhythm. He had the fucking rhythm.
He had the
the vibe.
He had the vibe. He had the flow.
His voice was amazing.
His voice was amazing. Yeah.
Because it would be like you lay down a boogie thing and you go, and you hear this deep voice, you go, yeah,
Well, that's
come
the
on,
thing.
boy, that's
That's the
boogie.
thing.
And you're watching
it
close
was
up and
his
you're going
voice.
like,
You know, it was his voice. And
That is what you were talking about earlier, man. That's that
and then
feeling.
did you ever listen
that,
to
that
B.B.
feeling,
King?
that thing.
You ever
that
seen
got
you ever
deep
seen
in
B.B.
you,
King
right?
play?
Yeah.
B.B. King.
Never live.
Okay,
but,
B.B.
yeah.
King couldn't do what you do. You know how? He couldn't play and sing at the same time. When he sang, he stopped playing
Oh,
guitar.
that's true, yeah.
Then when he played, and they asked him, he says, "Can you play and sing at the same time?" He says, "No,
Mm.
I can't do it. I have to concentrate on
Tobacco
one thing."
Brown better than B.B. King, right here.
But
you heard it here, folks. Better
He
than
did,
B.B.
he
King.
did it a long time ago, though, right?
But he reinvented things that way. Didn't
Yes.
he? He changed things, and I love that stuff, right? It's like Link Ray. He got tuberculosis and he lost his lung, and the doctors were like, "You'll never sing." So what did he do? He reinvented guitar. You know, like
Yeah.
it's like when those things are meant to happen. And
Yes, yes.
I love BB King's playing. I'm not gonna lie, it didn't do it for me when I was younger.
No.
I would listen to it and I'd be like, "Is that it? I can play that."
Yeah, you
right.
could.
And then, but now as a refined adult
Yeah.
with seasoned ears, I listen to it and he makes me cry.
He has a
He
lot of
makes me
feel.
cry with that shit.
Yeah, I know, he's got
fucking-
great
and
feel.
I get it now. It's like I never thought he was. You know what I mean? I never,
He has signature.
No disrespect.
The BB had signature licks.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
That's
God, you can't do
great,
that.
shit. You know what I mean? When you hear a
And
lick,
they
and
all
you go, that's
copied
that
it. Yeah.
song, right?
Yeah.
But
he
you
knows
know-
how to do that really well. I don't know how
it's
he.
all feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but his playing is
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and and it's like the thrill is gone.
Oh, that's a great song. I
Right,
heard that the
that's-
other day, and I
that's
started
when you-
listening again. I used to get bored with
You know
it.
what that's
I
about.
heard it too much, and then I hear it again the other day, and I went like,
Yeah.
"That's a really good song."
You know what it's about?
No.
Someone stole Lucille.
Oh, that's the one we
When his
still.
guitar
Yeah,
got
that's
stolen.
right. That's right.
That's what the thrill is gone is about.
Yes,
Is
yes.
it ain't the same, right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got his new
Yeah,
guitar,
he
but it
stole
ain't,
his guitar.
it ain't Lucille. The thrill is gone.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
can imagine like getting the blues at that age, like over that, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah, oh yeah. All
But
those guys,
no, it's
all
true.
those guys have stories.
Absolutely.
They all have stories. Like those guys, old blues guys.
What's the best
Yeah.
show you ever saw?
The best show I ever saw.
Your favorite show you ever saw?
I mean,
I want to ask
There-
you.
there have been-
I've asked so many times.
there have been
It's
so
impossible.
many. But you know what? Lately, I'm going to tell you right now. Lately, in the last couple of years, I went to London last November for my birthday, and I saw Dave Brubeck's son, and
Oh,
he performed
okay.
"Time Out." Take 5. That
Yeah,
album.
yeah, the album
He
Take
performed it in its entirety.
He did, eh?
Yeah, with
Wow.
and it was.
Was he his dad good?
Oh yeah, no, and it I mean, I never saw his father, but I listened religiously. My mother's a big jazz fan. I love jazz, and I grew up listening to Take 5 all the time. And that was a magical night of music. Like, I have to say, that was like, it was one of those, like, I had tears
Where
in
was
my
that?
eyes. This was at this was the Camden Jazz Cafe
Wow.
when I saw it, and it was just
How
before
many
my
people in
birthday.
that room?
It doesn't hold a lot, but it was packed, and it's a two-story kind of deal, right? So
Cool.
above the stage, where it's all like a floor area standing, and above it they've got the cafe, so you could book a table, and we had a table up there, me and my brother and my friend Pete, and we were drinking red wine, eating burgers, and just hearing literally the best jazz of its kind in that room, you know.
Like, if you were drinking red wine, you couldn't afford beer, or?
Oh, I could afford beer. But we were listening to jazz. You gotta be refined. No, but it was magic, you know. And I've been beaten up in mosh pits, and you know, I've been fucking drunk at shows and passing out, you know. But nothing really beats that moment of you know what I mean. It was magical.
It's really good music.
That sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. It really was. And thank you, Jeff, my brother, for making that happen.
Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Jeff, right?
BTW, you're the best.
So hey,
Jeff Tobacco Jeff.
So let me ask, when we were talking about tunes too.
Yeah.
Last time I saw you, were you gonna start to write tunes, new ones you're gonna put a new album out? He's got an album. He's not a CD.
Vinyl?
Vinyl.
I do.
Yeah.
I gave you one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
No,
I should have brought one for you, Ash. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm ill prepared. I do have an album. I recorded a vinyl with my buddy Marco.
Yeah.
He did pretty much everything.
Marco from Blasphemy?
Drummer?
Drummer.
Maybe. No. Okay. He is in a lot of bands. So, but I have an album, a little physical vinyl, and I have an album on Spotify digital called Anytime that I recorded with Chris Johnson.
Yeah.
And I recently put out a single called Water Gun.
Oh.
Tobacco Brown on Spotify.
On Spotify.
So
Anytime.
So you got a new single out.
I have a new single coming out December 6th. New single. I put out Water Gun last year, and that has been used in my
So
friend.
in December you got a new one coming out.
December 6th.
Good.
My song, it's called 1988, and it's coming out, and it's kind of different. It's a bit of a folk kind of country song.
What's 1988?
It's a little personal, but it's about it's the
You
girl
wrote a song about it. You probably
the girl I love. It's the year she was born.
You still love her?
So, I absolutely do. Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
So,
I love that.
yeah,
That's
it's
very
just,
nice.
it's like I didn't know what to call it because it's what do you know what I mean? What do you fucking love?
Diane.
Or or her literally her name.
What's her name?
I don't know if I should say.
No, you don't love her that much.
Well, she's a very private person.
Terry. I love
Her name
you,
is
Terry.
Her name is George R. Martin. No. No, I love her very much, and it's part of why I've called it 1988.
That's very cool.
You can hear the song. And
So it's kind of country
stuff.
stuff.
A little bit. It's a little different.
Before you got here, Joe and I were talking about looking at this at music. Oh, I'm an entertainer, and I never thought about that in my entire life until this week. Somebody I read or listening to something or talking to somebody as an entertainer, and I was like, oh fuck, right? Whoa.
Yeah. No, isn't it? It's funny.
For me, that wasn't it.
That's the
I
thing.
just wanted to be an agent of chaos. It's certainly not it for you. But now, the songs that I'm writing now are absolute.
Can we talk about you for a minute, Ash? Because you're a guitar player, songwriter. Am I wrong, or what's going on?
I do those things. Yep.
You do those things, yeah. So what kind of songs are you writing now? As you're saying,
It's not really a band like that.
It's not a band like. No. Okay.
A Treachery of Warlocks is our new band.
That is your new band.
Yeah.
Lyrics?
I didn't ask Joe if he wanted to be in it, but he might. Do you want to be in it?
I don't know.
You're wearing black clothes, so.
What do you need?
It's different than that. It's not really a band like
I feel like whatever you say, or whatever I say,
It's gonna be contradictory.
Yeah.
So you don't need.
So you're in?
Yeah. I'm in. Yes.
Yeah, dude. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Honestly, I really like. I love the traveling Wilburys thing. What's that?
It's not like that.
It's not like.
We don't.
We don't say honestly.
Well, we don't. No. No. Be honest.
Wait, you don't like the Wilburys?
No. Oh no. I do.
We gotta stop this fucking interview right now. What's going on?
Or that meme when it shows how old they were at the time.
Isn't that shocking?
What's that?
The Wilburys, how old they were when they were recording that.
Oh fuck yeah.
Decades younger. The
They're
oldest
not-
guy is decades younger than us. Roy Orbison is 30.
I know, and he looks. He sounds.
Roy Orbison played here once. Talking about guitars being stolen. He was playing a place called The Cave, a club downtown.
I remember the Cave.
Yeah, and he played The Cave for 2 weeks.
Whoa.
Are you serious?
Sold out every fucking night.
70s?
No, 80s.
Oh,
Sold
Wow.
out every fucking night.
No shit.
And people, there's a buzz in the city about him and the show, how good the show was. And then somebody stole 2 of his guitars. They stole his
motherfuckers,
guitars. And no, the positive was, there, I won't say the people's names, a group of people that are well known as not being nice guys sometimes.
Try motorcycles.
Yeah. And they basically said, give the guitars back or we're gonna break your head.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
fuck yeah.
and then what? The guitars showed up back.
Strange.
See,
See? They
that's
showed
a
up.
happy ending right there.
Yeah,
And
but
thank God, because you don't steal Roy.
he was
Orbison's
really
guitar.
upset.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
it
he
was.
was
Was it like Gibson acoustic or something?
Yeah.
Roy Orbison, I mean,
Here's something about Roy Orbison that.
Wicked voice.
Oh no! Sorry. No, I was thinking about Buddy Holly and the Crickets.
Yeah.
Do you know that song Peggy Sue?
Yeah, Peggy Sue.
Right? It's cool, right?
It's great.
No cymbals in that fucking song.
No, yeah.
Just hi-hat and snare.
Yeah.
No. Boom, 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 boom.
Well, it was probably recorded live, wasn't it?
Oh, yes.
Wasn't that the story?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All that-
But that's
all
what
that
I'm
stuff
saying.
is-
No,
Yeah.
none of that.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, "Oh, jungle music."
Well, it's. I mean, it's. Yeah. I mean.
I love Roy.
I love Roy Orbison. I love Buddy Holly. Roy Orbison, though.
Great voice. Wow.
Oh well, I love that story about when whatever engineer, I can't remember, but he was recording the Wilburys and he's got Roy's mic and everything. They're all in the room doing the vocals, and he's like, I can't fucking hear Roy, right? And so he's turning the mic up, and he's like, I still can't hear Roy, and he's got it basically cranked, and he's like about to stop the session, and then Roy starts singing. He almost broke all of the speakers in the studio. Like he almost blew them out. His voice was so loud. Right? He was just waiting when to sing. But yeah, I just love that. He's just like, holy fuck, like I can't hear Roy. It's like, yeah, it's because he's not singing.
He's not singing.
He's not singing yet.
My friend John Zaritsky, God rest his soul, was the guy who directed the what was it called? Tears Are Not Enough. The Canadian member apartheid or whatever.
Yeah.
Or famine thing or whatever. Anyway, and oh fuck, who was it?
You talk about was God singing too?
Yeah, and
That was Neil Young.
and Neil Young sings his bit. And who produced that, man?
I forget, but they
he
told
did U2 and
but they told him.
he's like, oh, you're out of tune, and Neil goes,
yeah, that's my style.
That's my style.
so it's in the movie that Johnny made.
Yeah.
No way.
Fuck, I love that.
That's
Johnny
brilliant.
Zaritsky, man. If anybody out there, John Zaritsky is an incredible.
And Joni Mitchell, he said the same thing to Joni too. And Joni said the same thing. She goes, this is my style, like Neil's. Right?
Yeah.
Like another was like, fuck off.
Fuck off.
Leave me. Do it right. Don't just do your job, and I know what I'm doing.
Well, and
I like that. That's moxie, right? That they do
dude.
what they're doing, and they
everybody's got an opinion as well.
Yeah.
Especially when people start doing what they really want to do.
yeah.
You know, I think
And when
that's
everything
tough,
gets
right?
so formulaic, dude.
That's what I like about him.
That's what I like about you.
Yeah, but no, that's what I like about this band, because your band doesn't. You go out.
What did you say? You actually gave me one of the best compliments when you saw us play at the Brighton, and you were like, we were chatting after, and you said, you were like, you guys were great. You know, you're a pub band, but you didn't play Rockin' in the Free World once or whatever. You're like, I didn't hear that once. And I was like, that is such a compliment. I was like, thank you.
No,
Not that I don't love that song, but
I like the way you do the Zeppelin. The way you.
Thank you.
I was telling Ash before you came. I says, you got to hear him do Zeppelin. You can hear the riff and the way the guitar is playing, but he changes the vocals. Sings it his way.
The root is there. You said the root is there.
Yeah, and I just went like, that's so cool, right? Because
Thanks, man.
everybody does a Zeppelin song. They try to sing it like Plant, and up in that register. And you know what, Robert Plant, if he heard you doing that, he'd be impressed because he
Kevin, can you quickly sing Black Dog?
Oh, for sure.
Just kidding. This guy's going to California.
No, and I totally agree with you because I've been in those pubs you're talking about, and I've seen those bands, and I've seen people try to do Robert Plant, and I'm like, you just shouldn't, you know. It's
Yeah,
like,
not like that.
well, not like that. And don't get me wrong, if someone
There's
gets those
certain-
notes, go fucking do it, right? Like being a Led Zeppelin tribute band, my thing is I've always loved covers where people put their own spin on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always been my thing. Is I love that because it's like, why wouldn't you do it the way you're gonna do it?
Like Streetcar when they did that.
Oh, the Rolling Stones song.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
They did it their way,
Yeah.
under my thumb.
So-
Oh yeah, no, and I
It's a
really,
classic their way too.
Yeah,
I think
so
absolutely.
too.
No, and it's like because I think you're gonna kind
See,
of miss the
people
mark
got away,
trying to do
people
it.
got
that
away
way.
from that. When you say that, he says that. See, when people covered songs years ago, like
Yeah.
10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, nobody, they did what you did. They didn't,
Mm-hmm.
and what I do in the Saints, like, I don't try to, I can do more covers in the Saints than I do in the Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
But like in the Saints, I don't try to sound like anybody. I just
Yeah.
sound like me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, like, I don't.
That's all you can do. Right?
You know, I played in cover bands, don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
played in the heyday of cover bands.
Yeah.
And I got fired out of more cover bands because I could hit everything. I could sing like fucking like Michael Jackson if you wanted me to. But the point
You
was,
don't want that.
I didn't want to do that.
Well,
I
then why
did-
would you? Because it's already been done, and
Yeah,
you know
but
what I
you know,
mean?
but I getting shit from the bands to go, you gotta sing it more like the record. And I used to go like,
You know,
no, I'm not gonna
that-
do that.
It's funny you should say
Yeah.
that because so me and the band we covered Dreams,
Mm.
and my drummer Dave Manson, I love you Dave, and Dave's amazing.
Yeah.
But, so get this,
Amazing Dave.
Amazing Dave. I never really try to give the band any notes, if that makes
Right,
sense. Like
right.
I don't really feel like I have to. Like these guys are seasoned vets, you know.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
anything,
no,
I
right.
ask them for notes on what I'm doing wrong. But the one thing I had to say to Dave is when we would cover Dreams, he would start it with us, kind of when he felt like it, and that's fine. But in my head, I was like, I never really like to do this, but I was like, we kind of need that beginning part, that drum bit. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, and then because that like kind of seals the deal, right? And I'm saying to Dave, I'm like, Dave, I'm so
Wave
sorry,
the
man.
flag.
Yeah, you know, and it just makes sense, right? Because it's actually very repetitive, and if you don't get it on the right beat, and it's not so. Anyway, I said to Dave, I'm like, you know, later on in the night, I'm like, dude, next time we do that, would you mind if we could play Dreams the way it's done on the recording, right? That with that drum fill, right?
Wave the flag.
Wave the flag, right? And he's like, I've never heard that song.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. He's like, I don't fucking listen to Fleetwood Mac. I don't fucking like, I don't know
Yeah,
that
see,
song.
that happens.
And I was like, I love you so much. Like that's
That's
fucking brilliant.
dope.
No, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, I hear, I'm like, he's not playing it right, and I should like tell him to do it the song. And it's like he's
And there it is again.
He's never heard
YouTube,
it.
get a homeless drummer.
Get a. Dave is not homeless, but
But you know
he's
who-
handsome.
your keyboard player though. Yeah,
Mm.
Rick. I like Rick.
Is that a battery sound?
What's that?
Oh, I just heard a beep. Sorry.
No,
Have you ever seen True Lies?
Yeah, let me look and see. I can check something here. Sorry, folks.
I can't smoke weed in here, obviously.
No,
But is it alright to have a quick break, or how does this work? Is this live? What's going on?
it is live. We're
Oh
just
God, this is live. Oh Jesus.
Oh, we'll just shut
just
her
say
down.
hi. We'll shut it
I
down.
don't want
if
to
you-
shut her down. but-
No, we'll
Well,
shut.
I
We'll,
definitely need another beer.
Yeah, well, let's shut her down. We love you.
Yeah.
We love you, YouTube. We love you.
I love you so
Instagram.
much.
We love everybody.
All right.
We love
Twitch.
you, Tobacco Brown.
Thank you. I love you guys.
and hey,
Thank you.
check Tobacco Brown out
Please do.
on Saturday night. Am I right?
Saturday night at the Brighton, 9
Saturday
till
night in
midnight.
East Vancouver.
September 28th.
Just by
Republic of
East
East Vancouver.
Vancouver. Ow!
Barbershop.
Peace out, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Piss out.